Hey yo, what's going on? Welcome back. It's an all-new Cloud City TV with your favorite music producer, Matthew James. Before we get into it, it would do me an awesome favor if you hit that button below to subscribe. That way you never miss an episode. We're almost at 100. If you're not a subscriber yet, hit the button. Help me get there. It's been a goal of mine for like the last year, and we're almost there. So thank you very much if you're a subscriber, and if you're not, hit that button. This week's episode was actually supposed to be part of last week's episode. I don't want to make it too long, so I decided to just make it its own episode. It is part 3 of writing a song with me. We started this song a couple weeks ago, and then last week we put the vocals together, we chopped them all up, put them together, and started out the arrangement. This episode, we're going to do a little more of putting the arrangement together and putting the vocals a little bit together more. We'll see where we get from there. We might go into finishing it, at least creatively. I'd like to really finish the track out creatively. I don't know how far we're gonna get. We're really not that far away from having it done creatively. We're really close. Stick with me, stay tuned. Once again, don't forget to subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Let's go. So let's play where we left off before. We picked out some good samples from that interview from, looks like it was from Shambhala. That's in Canada. All my Canadian friends. What up, Cosmic Canadian friends? So let's see where we left off, and then we'll go from there.
What are your plans for drugs?
I think I'm gonna try acid tomorrow, take a half for a full time.
2 nights ago I took Molly here.
I dropped LSD yesterday.
I did okay. We'll find out.
I didn't weigh it out, but I just took like 2 mushrooms.
I'm on MDMA, LSD, a little bit of mushroom.
I live for the music, and I don't push away from it because that's how you get anxious and the fear, and I just let the experience take me, and usually I'm fine.
And like everything was just so like happy and good vibes, and it was such a love drug. Yeah, you can wake up and do it and like go to bed.
Alright, so that's kind of where we're at. I think it's a great start, actually. I was going to go across and find some more mollies in this interview, but I don't know. I think I'm going to see if I could pull some parts out and kind of lay it out across this drop first. So let's do that.
What are your plans for drugs?
I think I'm gonna try acid tomorrow, take a half for a full time.
2 nights ago I took Molly here.
I dropped LSD yesterday.
I did okay. We'll find out.
I dropped LSD yesterday.
I did okay. We'll find out.
I didn't weigh it out, but I just took like 2 mushrooms.
I did okay. We'll find out. I did okay. We'll find out.
I didn't weigh it out, but I just took like 2 mushrooms.
I'm on MDMA, LSD, a little bit of mushroom.
I live for the music, and I don't push away from it because that's how you get anxious and the fear, and I just let the experience take me, and usually I'm fine.
And like everything was just so like happy and good vibes, and it was such a love drug.
That's such a love drug we're going to use throughout. This I thought sounded cool before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can wake up and do it and like go to bed.
Yeah.
You can wake up and do it and like go to bed. Yeah, you can wake up, go to bed and end it. Go to bed. Yeah, you can wake up and do it and like go to bed.
Yeah, I don't like it.
What are your plans for drugs?
This I think is going to be like the main, like a main drop. I mean, that's 16 bars. We're going to probably build this. First of all, let's get rid of this one. And I kind of want to go backwards and work on the first drop. So 32 bars, that'll give us, so if this is going to be,
What are your plans for drugs?
I think
right, everything's a little bit off. It's cool. So now we got a bunch of room. This should be like, I guess, the beginning of what our second break will be, but we got to build backwards, like I said. So we're going to take, actually, this whole, we'll take this whole thing, we'll unlock it. So that means that this automation that we set up before will come with it. So we got to deal with that again. We'll take all this. So we actually have a good start because this is 1 minute. So this is going to be the first breakdown, but it doesn't need to be this long. So we actually are going to just use this. We're going to take this. We're actually going to color it differently so I remember what it is. Now we're going to copy it. We're going to put it down here in our bank. Remember our banks? Now I have it separated because what you're going to see I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it all together just because it's a little bit easier to work with. So now I have that all together. And now we're going to put this over here because we're going to use it a little bit later. I don't need this. We're going to use this later. We're probably not going to use this right away, so we're going to move these down with the vocals. This is muted. We don't need this. Look at this. We don't need to look at that. We don't need to look at that. It's coming together. It's coming together. It's going to look mad confusing for a minute. Like, all this stuff should come up. Nothing's named. This is basically the beginning. This is basically going to be the beginning of the song right here. All this stuff. And then I got to figure out how to make my mouse bigger so y'all can see it. And then we're going to come into the first break. So we don't need a lot in the beginning. Like, the bass ain't going to be... The bass is going to come in. Right there, probably. So actually we're going to have no bass on the kick or low end. We're going to take all the low end off the kick in the beginning. And then it'll come in, boom, right here. That shit don't need to be on until there. Yeah, like that. Like that. Gotta clean this up a little bit. Now we're getting somewhere. Save it. Nope. You want it off there. On. There we go. Alright. Okay. Come over here to the bass line. Need to get some more drums in the beginning. You just kind of put ones here, see what sounds good. And again, I'm going to go back and change those hats anyway. I usually put tighter hats in the beginning and then open up to the bigger hats. But for the sake of time, I don't ever do that till I get to like the mixing, which I don't know if I'm ever going to do a video on because mixing is like super boring to watch. I already feel like I'm already on that line of like being interesting enough to watch these as it is. So I definitely don't want you guys to watch me sit here and mix a song because that shit is way boring. But I would go watch some of the guys who are really, really good. Some of like the engineers, if you're into that kind of stuff, some of the sound engineers are really good. And this kind of helps as you get in. Like, I know this part might seem a little boring, but it makes sense later on because it does help. Like putting the song together as you build into the break. It kind of gives you a better idea where you want to put like the vocals and put stuff instead of just trying to start with the break. Like, now that we have kind of like the main ideas of the song, or like at least how I work. Now that I have like the main ideas, I'll try and put together most of the outline of it per se, or at least like the intro through the first breakdown and then the first drop, and then like I have a really good idea. And then after that, I mean, it kind of, everything just kind of follows suit from there. So once you get through that, like, it's a pretty good feeling. Like right now, like, it's funny, like you go through like these stages when you're writing a song, and it's like you get an idea and it's like, oh, that could be good. And then like you always go through, at least I always go through this phase where it's like, oh, I feel like this kind of sucks. And then once you break out of that, like everything just kind of starts taking off. But there come these points for me where like something, like we'll put a vocal somewhere or something just like clicks, and that's kind of when I'm like, this is gonna work. And that's like, it's always a moment where I'm like, all right, this is gonna be a good song. I know this works now. On the flip side, there's other like projects where that doesn't really happen. As they say, it's more important to do the shitty songs or the shitty artwork, whatever you're doing, because you got to get out of your head. Jazzy Jeff, DJ Jazzy Jeff said you gotta, if you're creative, you just gotta die empty. Just get all your ideas out. Such a great thought, right? Anyway, I digress. Let's get back into it. So I'm gonna give everything away in the beginning. So I'm gonna turn these off. Actually, you know, I think we're gonna start with single hats. So see how these are, see this little hat right here, this little guy? I'm gonna take these out in the beginning and then bring them in when the big kick comes in. So you'll see what I mean. So we'll take this. Run that across to right there. Now you hear now the old way, you'll hear like a different hit. Hear that other one that we have in there? Now without it. So we'll have that come back in here. Just adds a little character, you could say. What are all these? Did I not use? So that we're gonna keep to come in later. This we might be able to use right now. This we might bring in here when the big kick comes in. Let's see. Yeah, I like that. So you can barely hear it. Maybe we'll take out, we'll do that. Sweet. Now we gotta copy all this stuff over. So, now we got a really good start, actually. So let's delete this because it's confusing me. Alright, so this is going to be our breakdown. So all this stuff got to come over still.
For drugs.
I think I'm gonna try acid tomorrow. Take a half or a full tap.
2 nights ago, I took Molly here.
Well, I dropped LSD yesterday.
Might do a little okay. We'll find out.
What are we thinking? What are we thinking?
What are your plans for drugs?
I think I'm gonna try acid tomorrow. Take a half or a full tap.
2 nights ago, I took Molly here.
Well, I dropped LSD yesterday.
Might do a little okay. We'll find out.
I didn't weigh it out, but I was took like like 2 mushrooms.
I'm on MDMA, LSD, a little bit of mushroom.
I live for the music, and I don't push away from it because that's how you get anxious and the fear, and I just let the experience take me, and usually I'm fine.
And like everything was just so like happy and good vibes, and it was such a love drug.
Alright, so that we're definitely using that piece. We gotta figure out what we're gonna cut out. I'm thinking
A little bit of mushroom.
I live for the music.
A little bit of
I think we're gonna use this part and then we'll save this part for the second section. I mean for the second breakdown it'll be the whole thing. So okay. Where's that piece? Oh, here it is. Alright. So first thing, let's move this out of the way because we're about to cut some shit up. Get this out of here. We really should move these drums up because they gotta be up here. Alright, so now we got all those drums up there. Now I want to shorten this breakdown to eight bars. I should find a reference for this and see about the arrangement because I'm not really sure if I want to do 16 bar breakdown in the beginning right away. I want to do 8. I'm not really sure. I want to do 8, so I'm gonna do 8 actually, and then I'll just go see how many references have, if it's how much is different, and then I can always change it. But right now my gut's telling me to do 8, so I'm going to do 8, which means we can bring all of this, or actually we're just going to delete, lock everything up, and then take that. Do that. Now we'll take this. Go to the end of everything. Alright, now we'll pull it together. Now our 16 bar breakdown is an 8 bar. Alright, so now we got that settled. Now we can go get that vocal. Now we only have these 8 bars. So we're going to do this.
I think I'm gonna try acid tomorrow, take a half for a full tap.
What are your plans for drugs?
I think I'm gonna try acid tomorrow, take a half.
So like we can cut that guy out in the beginning.
I think I'm gonna try acid tomorrow, take a half for a full tap.
2 nights ago I took Molly here.
Well, I dropped LSD yesterday.
Might do a little okay. We'll find out.
I didn't weigh it out, but I just took like 2 mushrooms.
I'm on MDMA, LSD, a little bit of mushroom.
I live for the music, and
I want
It's such a love drug. Happy and good,
turn that shit off.
happy and good vibes, and it's such a love.
fine.
And like everything, and like everything was
Don't do the music, and I don't push away from it because that's how you get anxious and the fear, and
and it's such a love. Happy and good vibes, like happy and good vibes. It was just so like happy and good vibes, and everything was just so
fine.
and like everything, and like
So let's go see if we can I want to find that section of this. Oh, wait. See, that's when... So what we can do is go back to where I have it still chopped up.
it's such a love.
And now I'll just pull way out here and I can go right back to that section. Is this the same girl? Do we know? I don't want to go back to the video. Alright. What was I trying to do here? Where's that break? Right here?
Don't push away from it because that's how you
LSD.
But I just took like 2 mushrooms.
Alright, I got an idea. So let's cut this. Come on. Right there. Move this all the way out again. Where's that other girl's interview?
A lot of friends.
That's the best part of it.
was
I know, it's such a love drug. Happy and good vibes and like happy and so like happy and good. Everything was just so like happy and like everything was and like everything wandering around. Just started like wandering around and like everything was just so like happy and good vibes and
Do I have that already?
that was a big trip.
Is that your favorite thing, acid at the festival?
I didn't weigh it out, but I just took like 2 mushrooms and like everything was just so
Alright, what the hell? Alright, hold on.
try acid tomorrow, take a half or a full tab.
2 nights ago I took Molly. I didn't weigh it out, but I just took like 2 mushrooms.
on MDMA, LSD, a little bit of mushroom.
Like 2 mushrooms.
I'm on MDMA, LSD.
Sounds like my neighbors upstairs are pissed. But I can't tell you how many fucks I don't give. I don't know, actually. It could be not them banging. I really have never been able to tell. There's definitely been times they've been banging. There's other times I think I thought they were and they weren't. I never know. I really don't have it that loud considering I have the sub turned off. So
I didn't weigh it out, but I just took like 2 mushrooms.
Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah, it was a big trip.
Is that your favorite thing, acid at the festival?
Like,
You made some friends.
I made a lot.
Happy and good vibes and like I just started like wandering.
It's wonderful.
I just started like wandering around. I
So, see, this is what there's a lot of this where you're just kind of going back and forth with stuff. But this is the process.
didn't weigh it out, but I just took like 2 mushrooms.
Alright, there we go. That's what I wanted.
It was just so like happy and good vibes and like everyone.
Molly does that.
I didn't weigh it out, but I just took like 2 mushrooms.
I'm on.
I didn't weigh it out, but I just took like 2 mushrooms.
I'm on MDMA, LSD.
I didn't weigh it out, but I just took like 2 mushrooms.
I think I'm gonna try how you get anxious and the fear, and I just let the experience take me, and usually I'm fine.
And like everything was just so like
This is what I want.
I think I'm gonna try acid tomorrow.
I didn't weigh it out, but I just took like 2 mushrooms. And like everything was just so like I didn't weigh it out, but I just took like 2 mushrooms. And like everything was just so like happy and good vibes and it's such a love drug.
That works. That works. Happy accidents.
I think I'm gonna try acid tomorrow, take a half or a full tab.
2 nights ago I took Molly here.
Well, I dropped LSD yesterday.
Might do a little okay. We'll find out.
I didn't weigh it out, but I just took like 2 mushrooms. And like everything was just so like happy and good vibes and it's such a love drug. It's such a love. It's such a love.
It's either my dishwasher or they're really pissed.
Such a love drug.
That's so cool. We got a good one. This is sick.
and good vibes, and it's such a love drug. Such a love drug. Such a love drug.
All right, that's awesome. I might get into this a little bit more tonight, but for the video, I'm going to sign off. You guys will hear what comes out of this because it's turned out sick. I think we're going to call it Love Drug or Such a Love Drug. I think Love Drug is what we got to call it, though. That, I think, is going to be the working title. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me across all socials at Matthew James Made It. Don't forget, man, please hit that subscribe button. That's all I got. Have an awesome day, an awesome, awesome weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Catch y'all next week. Peace.